Hey, good morning. How you guys doing? Oh man, had a long night. Wasn't able to go do my run this morning. Uh, had to look after my daughter. There was a little family emergency thing going on, but everything's okay. Um, so yesterday I started talking about the quantum field, quantum physics, how this not only applies but is basically I'd say like the foundation or just the quantum field is all around, right? And things we want, things we wish for, or things we wish we could do, or goals that we have. Uh, in the quantum field holds every possibility, anything you can imagine, all the waves of possibility. That's you know relationships, wealth, um, anything that you want. These are all waves of possibility in the quantum field. Um, but in order to achieve or to gain these or to get to that point, you basically have to uh, collapse the current version of yourself. Um, and Okay, so all these possibilities out there in the quantum field are there and can be collapsed by the coherent observer, so to speak. If you know what I mean, if that makes any sense to you, it's that's when you're within whatever you believe, your beliefs. Um, so basically, you have to collapse the current version of reality in your reality. Because if you're going through life and you're if you're going through life in this in the version that you're living in, right? Your belief system, the things that you do daily basis, your habits, your attitude, you know, um, if you're not happy with that and you want to create a better version of yourself, you have to that has to go away. You're gonna have to that has to collapse. That has to go away. Um, so your focus, your attention, and your emotion, um, those are the sculptor of reality. Um, Unfortunately, people get caught up in it's fear. It's like um, it's like a loop of fear. That's it's like you focus on what's missing in your life. You focus on all the negative things. You're focusing on what you lack. You're focusing on all these things when you should be focusing on the things that you want to achieve. You know who you want to become. In being yourself. That's within. That's not looking for. That's not looking for you know confirmation uh, for others' viewpoints or making you feel good that you make somebody else feel good. You know what I mean? Basically, in layman's terms, uh, it's about you inside. Um, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. It's complicated in some cases. I mean, it's simple to understand, but for me to explain it in quantum, in terms of the quantum field, you basically have to get on that vibration level. You have to get to that point where inside, you switch that. If you want to become this better version of yourself, you're gonna have to get on that frequency, on that vibration level. And once you do that, then you'll be able to, in that quantum field where all these possibilities are there, then you'll be able to collapse these possibilities, and then everything shifts. You know what I mean? Um, it's It can get complicated. And that's what I was saying yesterday, that it's going to take several videos for me to kind of explain this to you. And forcing it, that's you living in a certain version, but you want something else without changing first. You create friction, which slows things out. It slows things down, and it causes you to go into a loop, where you continue to go into a loop because you're not trying to change yourself. You're having expectations of others, or you're wanting something, but you're not, your conscious is not putting that out. It's not putting that frequency out. It's not putting out that vibration. You're not in that vibration level. So it won't be achieved. It's not going to collapse. You're not going to be able to get that, all these things are out in the quantum field. You will not be able to achieve these things until you start living these things, until you start believing that, like, well, I want to be not a track star, but you have a goal for yourself. I want to be able to work out, and I want to be muscular or something like that. You gotta want that. You gotta believe that. You gotta see yourself doing that. You gotta start doing that. You gotta see yourself as that person. You know what I mean? You have to be that person. And once you become that person inside, you believe that this is me. This is who I am. You start going for it. Like me, for example, I stopped running and started eating bad and all these things. And I started going back to eating right. And inside I'm thinking, I want to be that person who eats healthy, that lives longer because I took care of myself. And then I start doing it. And I know in my mind, I am that person. I am that healthy person. I want to start running again. Did I run out the door and just haul ass down? No, I didn't. I started walking. I had to walk first. It's like crawling before you walk type thing. You know what I mean? So I believed that. I saw that in myself. So I started walking. Incrementally, I got to that point where I started running. And I'm not running, 20 miles or anything like that. I'm working on 5 miles a day every morning. That's my goal. But I see myself there. I see myself as doing it every day, and I push for that. You know what I mean? This is what I see myself as being. So in the quantum field, that possibility, I'm working on collapsing. In the quantum field, unless it's observed coherently, it will not collapse. And I don't mean like collapse as go away. I mean as collapse as it's being observed, and then it becomes reality. That's how that works. That goes deeper in the rabbit hole. That goes back to the double slit experiment and all these things. We actually figured out that unless something's observed, it's just a wavelength. It's not, it's not solid until we observe it or we see it. That's another deal. But basically, we have to start working on ourselves from the inside. We got to see ourselves doing something. You want a good relationship, you got to see yourself as being that relation. That you have to be that person first. What you want in somebody else, I want somebody honest. I want somebody loving. I want somebody this. You got to be that person first before that wave will collapse. Before you actually start making that your reality. And once you start believing that, knowing that you are that person, then you'll attract that. You can't chase it. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, but you are going to create friction, and it's going to be a longer road. So you got to go within first. You got to become that person. And once you become that person, without going out looking for it and chasing it, you'll attract that type of person. Anyways, I'm a little tired from last night, so I'm getting a little loopy here. But you guys have a blessed day, and we'll talk some more tomorrow. You have a good day.